Hello everyone. Welcome to today's session. My name is Ukeme David Eseme, and I am part of the AWS Nigeria DevOps community group, DevOps study group, and this is one of our initiative to give people in the community superpowers. By superpowers, I mean the skills required to be a profitable, a sufficient, a resourceful DevOps engineer. And today is one of those days where we will be talking about DevOps. And this time it is continuous integration and continuous development for code pipeline. So code pipeline is one of those dev tools in AWS that you can use to, you know, do your CI/CD integration or deployment. Yes, code pipeline. So in this session, we will be using code pipeline to deploy a backend, a simple backend application. I don't know, might be complex, but just a feel a backend application to Elastic BeanStalk. And in this, you will learn how to automate tasks like code integration, testing, and deployment, ensuring that changes are regularly merged into the code base and delivering updates in a predictable and efficient manner. So we have someone who is no visitor to this platform. His name is Latif Taiwo. He's going to be taking us through this. Let me bring Latif up on stage. Latif, where are you? Where are you? Come up. Okay. Hiya, Latif. How are you?
Hello. Hello. Good evening. How are you? And how weekend?
Well, good.
Can you
Fine,
hear me?
thank you. Fine, thank you. I beat you. Yes, but there was a lag. There was a lag. There
Oh,
was a 1 second lag. I can hear you. All right. So should we just give you the
it should
stage
be
to
the
do your
Nigerian
thing?
network. All right, yes, it's fine.
Should we stage? All right. So we go straight into it. And
So,
this is Latif.
yes, just bring up my slide. All right. Good evening, good afternoon, good joining us from. I believe we may have some audience joining us from different parts of the world. So, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are joining us. Welcome once again to AWS Nigeria DevOps Study Group. And today we'll be talking about continuous integration and continuous deployment using AWS code pipeline. And also be using a very interesting AWS tool, AWS service, which is Elastic BeanStalk. Oh, wow. I don't know, for some reasons, okay, I have a network. Uh, the network is a little slow here. So basically, we're talking about Elastic Talk, and this is not this here. I don't know why. Moderator, can you help me check why it's not coming up on a broad screen? If you can hear me.
Is it your slides?
Yes. I've
I
nested it
can I can
to the second
actually
page.
okay.
To the second page,
Okay, just
but
hold on.
I'm
So
still seeing the first page here.
okay. Hold on. Sorry about that.
No, alright. Network will not disturb today. So basically, to start with, I'll be talking about Elastic. So AWS is Elastic Beanstalk is like a it gives you like a pre-configured EC2 instance that can directly take up your application code and do the environment, do the configuration of the environment required for your application code to run. Let's say, for example, you have this Node.js application and you want to deploy it using Elastic Beanstalk. So Elastic Beanstalk will automatically spin up the EC2 instance for you when you're doing the configuration to bring up the EC2 instance and provide this pre-configured environment for your Node.js application to run. And it makes software engineers and developers focus more on writing and improving their application code. Like it relieves them of burden of managing the infrastructure, setting up infrastructure, and what have you. It makes them just focus on improving their application code to better meet its needs. So that is what Elastic Beanstalk do. So you can use it to automatically provision and deploy resources within AWS on the web application. So Elastic Beanstalk, like I mentioned, is a platform as a service in the sense that you only just deploy, or what's it called? You only deploy your application code. You push in your application code either as a zip file or in another form, which which is valid by Elastic Beanstalk, either as a zip file or in another form. So you put your application code and it deploys it for you using a pre-configured EC2 instance, and it sets up the environment for you. And a quick note, this Elastic Beanstalk uses an AWS infrastructure as code service known as CloudFormation under the hood. So CloudFormation helps it to perform some of these things that it does under the hood without you interfering with it. So now moving on. All right. So these are some of the application environments that Elastic Beanstalk supports. That is the kind of applications that you can deploy using Elastic Beanstalk. You can deploy a wide variety of applications using Elastic Beanstalk: Java, .NET applications, Python applications, PHP applications, Node.js applications, Ruby, Go, even Docker applications, and also web servers. Now, when you deploy your application to Elastic Beanstalk, you can have a visual view of what is happening. For example, this environment health status that I have on my slide, it tells you the health check responses. If on your dashboard you have something like a red flag, you see something like red, it shows that the application failed. That is deploying, that's at that stage it failed. If there's a yellow label, it shows that the application failed some of the health tests. And if it is gray, the application is updating. If it is green, it shows that the application passed the health check successfully. So there is health check integrated in the Elastic Beanstalk deployment process. Like we know, most AWS services have this integrated health check in them. For example, EC2 instances, you know that whenever you launch an EC2 instance, at first you see something like a health check on the dashboard. So similar thing happens under Elastic Beanstalk, and we'll see this during the hands-on demo. So Elastic Beanstalk helps with what we call scalability. So it helps with horizontal scalability in the sense that the application can scale to meet demand. So deploy and scale your web application. So upload and deploy web application in a simplified, fast way. This lets developers focus on writing code, like I mentioned initially. So it helps software engineers and developers to focus on writing their code instead of provisioning and managing servers. So the application dynamically scales, and AWS states that since Elastic Beanstalk uses auto-scaling feature, it can, in theory, handle any amount of internet traffic. That is, can scale as much as the demand. It can scale depending on the demand. So the use cases for Elastic Beanstalk, you can use it to deploy, to quickly launch web applications like we do in one of the demos now. You can use it to create mobile API backends for your application. You can use platform critical business applications. For example, let's say some of your web servers, maybe you have this, what's it called? This large application, let's say maybe application that you use, that your HR uses, or any critical business application that you have in your organization, you can easily use Elastic BeanStalk to deploy and manage it. So let's quickly do a demo on Elastic BeanStalk. Before we do that, let me quickly share my screen. So I'll share my screen now, and please the audience can let me know if you can see my screen. I believe you can see my screen now. So I'll go to my AWS console, and I'll either search for Elastic BeanStalk if it's in the recent services here. I'll open Elastic BeanStalk on the okay, it's my condition. Let me also share it. I think I closed it. My screen is portrait more on, so it's very kind of similar to other AWS services. Some other AWS services are just hold, and that is it for you. For example, AWS Light or Runner. Just what you just do is you upload the application, deploys it for you. So it's very, very similar to this, but
Let's see if your screen is up now. Your screen is up now.
for that for but Elastic BeanStalk
Okay, so it seems Taiwo's internet is having some issues. Um, we're trying to resolve that backstage. Okay, so it seems Taiwo's okay. So all right, great. So I'm gonna bring Taiwo back up. And Taiwo, let me share your screen. Hello.
is it that I'm having network connections? If so, let me open my camera. Hello,
Yes, yes, sure. Please go ahead.
my connection is a little bit poor. May have to
Yes,
to
just
manage
turn off.
bandwidth. You
Yeah,
understand?
just you can turn off your video. So it seems we are still having some slight technical errors from the back end. We're going to try to resolve that in a minute. We're very sorry about this, but this happens sometimes. Let me. Okay, so Latif is going to be doing a change of network, and while he's doing that, I can basically just engage you on the DevOps study group. So at the DevOps study group, we plan to give people superpowers, like I said earlier, to give people that skill. So it's one thing to read and know the theoretical aspects of these things, and it's another thing to actually practicalize them. Thing to actually practicalize them. So Taiwo, we are still waiting for you. So at the DevOps study group, our plan is to give you that skill. Every Wednesdays we have beginner sessions. Every Saturdays we have advanced sessions where we are meant to do hands-on. Like today now we're meant to do hands-on to cover CI/CD for um, code pipeline, which is the AWS service for continuous integration and continuous deployment. It's a very interesting topic. I'm going to try to get a resource and put it in the chat so you can go ahead to read from there. Let me check up on Taiwo. Give me a minute. So Taiwo should be coming back up in a bit. Um, it's just so unfortunate that we're facing this right now. Taiwo, can you hear me? Are you there? Taiwo, can you hear me?
Yes, I can play.
Are you ready to go? Because we've.
Hear
Are you
you.
ready? Okay, please go on. Go ahead. Mr. Latif, are you back?
Hello?
Are you back? Are you ready? Hello? Okay, so sorry about this. We did not expect this to happen. This is a we were facing some very serious technical issues in the studio at the moment, and we would have to call this a day. We'll try as much as possible to come back, fixed all of these errors by next week, and um, we'll fix all of these errors by next week, and this should not happen again. We apologize for the inconveniences. Thank you, everyone. See you next time.